In today's episode of the Sports Card Dad, some sad realities that social media doesn't talk about too much, man. So quick to talk about the big hit and the excitement and all of that other stuff when it comes to sports card breaking.
The vote! We're giving away a couple! And it's gold! No way! It's gold!
Ran a couple of polls that tell us a little bit of a different story. Stick around. What's going on, sports card hobby family? Another day, and you know what that means. It's another sports card video. We're talking about sports card breaking today. Ran a couple of polls asking people, how much did you lose in sports card breaking in 2024? And I was pretty shocked by the results. Before I dive completely in, if you're first time submitting with PSA, don't forget to take advantage of $25 off your first order SCD25 code at the shipping and billing screen. It's only a one card minimum to try out PSA, $25 off. Also, SlabMags. We haven't talked about these puppies in a while. If you want to display your card the way that it should be displayed, and also protect the surface, especially if you've got an autograph on it, UV protection, I've got promo code down below for SlabMags in the video description as well as in the pinned comments for 10% off. All right, so last night I ran a poll. I was thinking about this. I'm like, what would the community say? And I ran a poll about how much have you lost in 2024? And so the way that I set this up is we only have four options. There's four options I can do with a poll, whether that be on my YouTube channel or on Twitter X. And so that's what I did. So I did more than 25,000, between 10,000 and 25,000. These are huge numbers. And then between $1,000 and $10,000, and then between $100 and $1,000. If there's a fifth option, I would have put I don't do breaks or something like that, or $0 or whatever it is. But there wasn't that fifth option there, and so we left it at that just to try to get a good gauge for those that are participating in breaks. How much did you lose in 2024? And I'll be honest with you, I was surprised by the results. Now, the good news is the majority, if I'm looking at what we've got on YouTube currently, granted 82 votes, I just ran this 10, 11 hours ago, 82 votes, 71% between $100 and $1,000. So that's pretty good. Most people, between $100 and $1,000 in a year. That's not too bad, depending on your circumstances. Now we get into between $1,000 and $10,000. It kicks up to 16%. 16%. And then if we go to $10,000 to $25,000, 6%. And then more than $25,000 lost in breaks in 2024. 7%, which, that means 5 or 6 people out of the 82 people that voted lost more than $25,000 in breaks. To be honest with you, I thought that this would be like 1%. More than $25,000 is a hell of a lot of money. And really that band down there between $1,000 and $10,000, that's a big band. I mean, how many were at 1,000? How many were at 9,500? And that's 16%. So we're talking about some serious money. Now, I ran the same thing on Twitter. 37 votes here, 37 votes over the last 10, 11 hours, and a whopping 21.6%, about 21% coming in at $25,000 or more. And then, of course, about 73% between the $100 and $1,000 range. And then, of course, a lot of people did comment that they don't spend any money on breaks, and they said, they threw in their piece about breaks and how they felt about it. Now, a lot of the kind of the pushback on this is, oh, well, breaks are for people that are just trying to get in their team. I'm a New Orleans Saints fan, so I want the New Orleans Saints cards out of the new product. And so I'm buying into a break. And so this makes sense. Kumbaya for everybody. But the reality is that's not what most people are doing. Most people are getting caught up in the hype of a huge chase card or multiple chase cards, and they're chasing. They're chasing away. And I was, again, pretty surprised to see that, yes, 70% fell in the $100 to $1,000 a year range, which I think, look, that to me, for most people, the average Joe, $100 to $1,000, that's a hobby. It's like sports betting. I did a few $100 this year in sports betting, $1,000. Okay, you can live with that for the average Joe person. Now, again, if we're talking about maybe it was Bezos and Bill Gates, and maybe there's a few other billionaires and Michael Rubin was one of the ones that clicked on the 25,000 or more. Fine. Okay, maybe that's the case. Maybe they're all billionaires. But again, I don't think that that's reality. I think that there's average Joes out there, or maybe above average income, slightly above average, that are in that $25,000 plus range. I didn't ask if it was, 25,000 or more. That could be 50, could be 100K, who knows? I know there's a lot of people out there who've had comments on my videos. I had one comment actually that responded to this poll that was like, I got smashed over the last few years, so I didn't do much in 2024. In breaking. Rob Veras said it best. If we go back to a quote that he had about a year ago or so at Burbank Sports Cards, Rob Veras, and he said, if I have somebody come in and buy a product from me or a service from me, which he was speaking about breaking, and 8 or 9 out of 10 people have a bad experience and they don't come back in my store, that is not a great business model. That's what Rob said. And I think for the most part, Rob is looked up to as one of the kind of the beacons, the North Stars, one of those hobby shop owners that's been around for decades. It's been in the family for a long time, and it's really kind of built his business as a marathon, not a sprint. So when he speaks about something, I take it very seriously. And I don't ever really see this sort of thing being talked about. I do see a lot of the, I got the one of one Wembanyama, I pulled this, and I won the lottery ticket. There's a lot of social media around the lottery ticket winners, and there's not very much social media around the lottery ticket guys that just keep on going back, spending their paycheck on the lottery ticket, and are having to move in with their parents because they can't pay rent. What's been your experience with this? And granted, I know that a lot of my audience doesn't necessarily do breaks at all. Like me, I spent $0 in 2024 on sports card breaks, but I do know that there are viewers that have gotten involved. And I know there's been some viewers that have had some good experiences this year with breaks where they've got some good hits out of it. They felt like they got good value. And so let me know, my friends, stay healthy, stay awesome, and I will talk to you again later.